Army, the Coast Guard, Space Force as well, Captain Lynn. What an amazing tournament it's been. Every single match has been decided by one goal. We've had 3 of the 7 matches go to double extra time. The Marines trying to hoist the trophy for the first time since 1998. They're in the gold medal match for the first time since 1999. The Army, they've hoisted the gold 13 times prior. They're trying to win a 14th here and go undefeated. It's David versus Goliath. Can't wait.
You said it, Alex. This is it. The Army has been a strong, consistent team throughout this whole tournament, going undefeated, but you can never count the Marines out at their home crowd here, and they're looking for that first goal, like you said, since 1998.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights for the Army and the Marines and how they got to this point and how they got to the gold medal match. John Ponce, he has scored 3 of the 4 for Army. He's now 1 back of Julio Noel, who scored 2 in the consolation match for Navy for the Golden Boot. The Army wound up beating the Marines 2-1 in the opening match of the tournament. Ponce scored twice. Aaron Krantz added a goal in the 70th minute for the Marines, but it was too much for the Marines to overcome. Then the Army defeated the Navy 1-0 and then defeated the Air Force 1-0. A blistering strike off the right boot of Devontae Blake proved to be too much for the Air Force to get by. The Marines, how they got to this point, Captain Lynn. Of course, they lost that first match to the Army 2-1. And they're kind of sitting there thinking, man, are we going to get 4th place again? Are we going to get to that consolation match again? We're tired of losing. They found a way in the 113th minute. Carlos Vasquez Perez found the back of the net. All of a sudden, some momentum, some life here sprung into these men and the Marines here at Camp Pendleton. And then last match, down and out, 85th minute, down 2-0 against the Navy. A goal for Steven Wisnat in the 85th minute. Then a goal by Laverick Mulla off the bench. A hero substitute, 90+5. He was able to find the back of the net, and then a free kick heard round the country by Omar Esquivel, the corporal who's stationed right here at Camp Pendleton. A free kick about 30+ yards out. He found the back of the net. Folks here went ballistic. The Marines are in the gold medal match for the first time since 1999. And we will see how the Marines starting 11 and how they line up here for this gold medal match under head coach Rocky Ferdine. You see it right there. Wisnat, who scored the goal. Laverick Mulla, he's not going to start. He's going to come off the bench. Carlos Vasquez Perez, though, Captain Lynn, he's been so dangerous and tough to stop. All right, let's take a look at the undefeated All-Army lineup, and they're starting 11, and it's good to see Christian King back in the lineup. He did not start last game because of his 2 yellow cards he received, so he's back in the lineup at that center mid spot for Josh Green. Spoke to Josh Green right before the match today, and he said, listen, you want to beat them on their home turf. I know it's David versus Goliath, just in terms of history, right? But he said, this is a different Marines team, and we got to take it to them. It's mano-a-mano for the gold medal. Where else would you rather be, huh?
This is an exciting time for everyone. The base is out, coming in, supporting the Marines, who have that unique home field advantage here, but Army, who has been strong throughout the entire tournament, and it's going to be an interesting game to watch.
Getting ready for first touch. The Marines will start with it here. The referees, Abdu Ndiaye is the ref, Jacob Little, the AR1, Marcus Moss, the AR2, Lorenzo Hernandez is the 4th official. Is it going to be the Marines? They've scored the most goals in this tournament with 5. Or the Army. They've only allowed 1 goal here in 2023. And right away, not a great service there from the Marines, and Javier Aguila. It'll be a throw-in for the Army on the far side.
And keep in mind that this is a little bit of a different game than we saw in the first matchup. We have some injuries as well as others coming back from the yellow card disciplinary there. And so this is going to be a new game here for Marines and Army.
What is something you're looking for here? Obviously a lot of nerves, right? In a gold medal setting like this between these two, and a much different match than what we saw, like you talked about moments ago, in that first match to open the tournament last Wednesday. But you've played in some big matches in your life. What's something you're looking for here in the first 10 minutes?
I think the biggest thing here is to keep your head, Alex. For both teams, they're going to want to not play frantic and just settle down and play their game. So that's going to be something you see here as well. And we saw a pretty physical match between both teams when they first played each other. And so I think that's something we can, again, expect, as there's a lot on the line here today.
We were talking to some reps earlier this morning about how they were going to pack this place where the Marines. Got a good crowd on tap here on Tuesday afternoon, Trophy Tuesday. The Marines, something to note about the Marines that I think is one of the most fascinating statistics. If you're a stat dork like me, the Marines, Kristen, have not scored a goal in the first 69 minutes all tournament long. All of their strikes, all of their goals into the back of the net have been scored 70 minutes or later. They've had 2 game winners in double extra time, one of those in the 113th minute against the Air Force, and the other last match against the Navy. And so they're a team who really starts showing up on the attack about 70 minutes in.
And they're good under pressure. They never let down, and that's something that's a big mindset for them, and something that Coach Rocky Ferdine said going into this tournament. They're going to be hungry, and we can see that here today.
And if you're the Army, they have not scored a goal in this tournament earlier than 45 minutes into a match, which is also pretty late. They scored 3 of 4, about 45 minutes or 45 plus 1 into this match. They scored the first goal of the tournament. That was by John Ponce in the 45th minute. They've added a couple. Devontae Blake's game winner against Air Force last match was also in the 45th minute. Here's Christian King trying to defend Ariel Reyes. Chad Quick, who's been so stellar as the center back for Army, a guy we definitely think deserves the all-tournament team no matter how this match finishes. But the Army have only allowed 1 goal, and that was to the Marines, off the head of Aaron Krantz, who was set up by Randall McDermott in that very first match. Victor Kosivi, Devontae Blake couldn't quite control it. Adam Quay, the left back for the Marines. Here's a guy who's really impressed you, Stephen Wisnott, not only scoring last match, but that's not what he's known for. He's done a great job dispossessing a lot of the strikers and center forwards. He has man-marked everyone in this tournament extremely well.
And he's been a huge presence there in that back line for the Marine Corps. He's obviously has the size, but he knows how to use it. He's been winning every 50-50 ball in the air, and that has proven to be very helpful there for the Marine Corps team.
First free kick, first foul called of the match. The Army has just looked so comfortable playing through their backs. If they don't have something, they don't force it. That's something that's impressed us a lot in the booth as well. Here's Devontae Blake working on Javier Aguila. Aguila with a touch, and it'll be the first corner of the match in the 6th minute for the Army. It'll likely be Louis Robinson to take it here. Robinson, who's so dangerous, stationed over at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, originally from Lehigh Acres, Florida. The Army wants to silence this Marines home crowd early. Robinson, Wisnat off the head. He takes a tumble, no call. Headed away by Ivano Seguera. This will be a throw-in for Brandon Torres. And so Laverick Mulla, by the way, when we show the starting lineup, he is in the starting lineup for them. I know I talked about him coming off the bench, but he is starting for them today. He's out there. So Mulla, who's playing kind of that right mid spot for the Marines. He scored the equalizer, as dramatic as you can get. Carlos Vasquez Perez. Here's Torres. There's Mulla, just talking about him. He got caught up. He was kind of running ahead of the ball, and the ball banged off his back heel. Christian King. And that's what I mean about them being comfortable playing it through their backs. They reset.
Yeah, and I know Army's looking forward to playing that center forward there, and John Ponce, who has proven to be a challenge for most defense to handle. He has size, he has control, and he's known to finish it. So that's something that they're going to want to look for.
That looked like a handball, and it was. A mistake there by Javier Aguila, man who's stationed right here at Camp Pendleton. So the Army, who have not allowed a goal coming into this match in over 200 minutes. That last one was against the Marines. Cleared away by Reyes off the head of Gio Castro. Be a throw in here for Donald Williams. We talk about it all the time. A monster attack is massive, but when you can shore up the back line, you're holding mids and middles can kind of controlling the field like we've seen from the Army. That's what we saw from the Air Force at MacDill Air Force Base last year in Florida. In 2022, the Department of Air Force, listen, they scored 8 goals as well, so they had everything working for them, did the Air Force in 2022, but they only allowed 1 goal in the tournament. And ironically enough, that was also against the Marines.
And defense wins championships, and that's going to be a very important key here in this match today. And we've seen such a strong performance there by Army and Chad Quick, like you said, in the center back, of organizing his defense and being able to play the ball around the back and controlling it there for Army.
Quay throws it in quickly to Castro. Louis Robinson defending. Brandon Torres, he is their throw-in specialist. Inside the penalty area, banged around, Donald Williams clears. Tough job for Javier Aguila today, who's having the task to man-mark John Ponce, and Ponce with a push. Foul called. Referee establishing immediately. There in Abdou Ndiaye. You can be physical today. He's allowed him to be in this tournament, but not when it's a blatant foul right in front of the ref.
And I think that's a smart decision there by the Marine Corps to man mark, like you said, John Ponce, who has been the core of Army's offense there. So I think that's a good move there by Marines early on.
This one served near the 18, headed away by Adam Laundrie. So Laundrie gets the start today. No Joseph Carslow in the starting 11 for the Army. Carslow, who had started all 3 matches prior. Josh Green liked what he saw from Adam Laundrie. Victor Kosivi was looking for Louis Robinson, and there's Mark Anthony Cambrone, sergeant, stationed right here at Camp Pendleton. He's one of 9 guys on this team, so half the roster comes from Camp Pendleton for the Marines, and he's had to step in. Brock Barbeau, who was their starting keeper through the first match and a half, Barbeau went down due to injury. Cam Brown has had to pick up the pieces. Ivan Oseguera takes down Gio Castro. Free kick here for Ariel Reyes and the Marines. So the Marine Corps, they've won 2 gold medals. The last one, as we've talked about all tournament long, 1998 at MacDill Air Force Base over the Navy. They honored, did the Marines, that 1998 championship team, that gold medal winning team, during the opening ceremonies. It was really cool to see. And that team has been with them throughout, giving them advice. And you had to think that Rocky Ferdinand had some of the 1998 members give them some advice before this gold medal match.
And that was such a cool opportunity for them to come and speak to the Marines before the tournament even started. And I know that they've been coaching them here on the sidelines ever since.
There's clearance there by Adam Laundrie. Otherwise, Carlos Vasquez Perez had a step. Not a good decision there. John Ponce. Ponce trying to lead Devontae Blake here. Actually, that's Victor Kosivi, not Blake. This is Louis Robinson. Robinson with a left foot try and over the bar. Every decision, every service, and every mistake, it gets beefed up, if you will, in a gold medal match. Brandon Torres, can he keep this one in play? He cannot, and then the turf monster got him. And Brandon Torres, he's been banged up all tournament long. He's given everything for the Marine Corps here in this Armed Forces Championship. He went down. That's not a good sign for the Marines.
That's not a good sign here, as he went down pretty hard. And I know the Marine Corps, the last thing that they are going to want to do is use one of those subs this early on in the game. And so here's another look at him going down.
And he's grabbing the hamstring. That's not a good sign. And you hope it's just a cramp. Sidney Kinder, the medical trainer for the Marine Corps, is tending to that right leg and right hammy of Brandon Torres. Gives us a chance here to reset. 14th minute, gold medal match, 0-0 between these two. What do you like so far in this match? What are your thoughts?
I do like that both teams are being pretty physical here. They're setting the tone, setting the tempo for the game and making it really exciting. But you see him walk off the field there for Marines. We're hoping he can come back on, because that's not a sub that they are going to want to make this early on.
Laverick Mulla scored the equalizer last match, trying to cross one in. Deflected by Ivan Oseguera. Omar Esquivel, who played the role of the hero last match, tried to get it to Carlos Vasquez Perez. Cleared away. Throw in on the far side. Right now, the Marine Corps is playing down a man. So Torres is still getting looked at on the sideline. And it actually looks like that Aaron Krantz may check into the match here. And boy, that's tough for Rocky Ferdinand, who's likely going to have to use a sub here in the 15th minute. That is not Brandon Torres. That is Aaron Krantz, the corporal stationed at MCAS New River in North Carolina. So he comes on. I believe that is it for Brandon Torres. And yeah, now the substitute is official. So Torres, that's a tough blow for Brandon Torres.
And you know that's a heartbreaking one there for him, as he has been a vital role in the Marine team in the offense there. But like you said, he's been hurting all tournament. And so this is just heartbreaking to see him go down that way.
But Krantz, who came in, he started against the Army in the first match of the tournament. He's the one who scored that goal to bring the Marines within one. case you missed it, the Navy wound up beating the Air Force 3-2 in the consolation match. So the Air Force wound up finishing 4th. The Navy wound up finishing 3rd. For the Air Force, it was the first time since 2010 that they finished 4th in a tournament. It's one characteristic of the Air Force. You know, they're going to be looking for some revenge in 2024. But with that Navy win, it means that everyone has won at least one match in this championship setting.
And that just shows you how close all these teams are. You said it, no game has been decided by more than one goal, and the competition is super fierce.
I believe we were told before the match that this would be the first tournament ever where every match was decided by one goal. It was not an official stat, but we were told that before this match, if this match were to be decided by one. A move there by Omar Esquivel. Ivano Seguera recognizing that he got there late. This will be a free kick here. It's about 40 or so yards out from goal.
And the referee doing a good job there of giving him a warning. That's the first hard foul, and so another one you're going to be expecting to see a yellow.
Esquivel's already showed he can score it from here. I mean, this was close. Maybe it was about 5 to 7 yards closer last time, but Esquivel scored an unthinkable goal, unimaginable goal for him last time on a free kick that sent the Marines dancing into the gold medal match. Does he dare try the keeper and Luke Barbe here? Barbe, excuse me. Off the head, instead tried to serve one in, and that'll be a goal kick for Barbe. So the Army, if they can win the gold after missing out last year, they won it in 2019, it would be their 14th gold medal victory, putting them just one shy of the Air Force, who have 15 since 1981. The Army, however, in gold medal matches, right around 500 ball, Kristen. 13-12 overall in gold medal matches. They're 1-1 versus the Marines all time in the gold medal match. These two have split in their 2 appearances prior. Wisnat, who's trying to clear there. Instead, McDermott's got to do so. The Army beat the Marines over at Fort Gordon in Georgia in 1981, the very first tournament. 1981. And then in 1983, 2 years later, the Marine Corps got revenge on the Army. And it wasn't until 1998 when the Marine Corps won their second. The Marine Corps, they're 2-4 overall in gold medal matches. Carlos Vasquez-Perez dribbling through a couple of defenders, and referee in this match allowing the advantage.
And he's been a fun one to watch here personally from the booth. He's been somebody who promoted to sergeant not too long ago, and after that he's been having a strong performance out here on the field.
Absolutely. He's been enjoying it all tournament long, and at times he's met the post twice, the crossbar once. He's thinking, I could have the golden boot right now. But Abdou Ndiaye, the referee, calling the foul there. Played advantage. It's a free kick here for the Marines. They have fared well on free kicks and set pieces in this tournament. It's going to be Mola with the left foot.
And you can see that Army recognizes how dangerous this is as they put all 11 players back.
Right foot try and just wide of the mark. Boy, a good look. It might have been Wisnat in there, and that's who they've been looking for. A great service by Omar Esquivel. Wisnat looked to be just wide of the mark. The Marine Corps finished 4th last year. The Army finished 3rd. It's amazing to see the difference a year makes. It was the Navy versus the Air Force in the gold medal match last year. This year, the Marine Corps versus the Army. This was the 3-4 matchup, consolation matchup in 2022. So in case anybody's wondering and saying, well, is there parity? I mean, how much are things changing year to year? 365 days has made a total difference for these two. Ponce warded off the chest, played it to himself. John Ponce trying to make a move. He goes down. Foul called by Abdou Ndiaye. So Laverick Mullah with the foul on Ponce. And now a free kick. Set piece here for the Army on the far side. Gotta think this is Louis Robinson who's going to take it.
And there you see the contact there. That's a good foul call there by the referee.
There's Rocky Ferdine. Seemed like he was saying follow your runner and making sure that no one plays it near post, back post on this service upcoming. Joseph Reese could take it with the right foot. Louis Robinson could take it with the left. It's going to be Robinson. Not a great ball there. He's frustrated with himself. Headed away by Aguila. Oh, what a stop there by Robinson. Great move. Trying to lead Victor Kosivi here. Kosivi, right foot cross. Oh, dangerous there. What a clearance by Castro. Otherwise, Blake and Ponce could have headed one home.
Yeah, that was a 2v1 opportunity there for Army. Both players unmarked in the box, which would have been a fatal mistake there for the Marines, but a good defending there.
Gio Castro with the defensive play of the day so far as we approach the 25th minute. Here at Camp Pendleton, gold medal match. This tournament started last Wednesday. Rest day on Thursday, second match is Friday, rest day Saturday, final matches of pool play on Sunday. Marine Corps were down and out, found a way to dig themselves from the dirt. They are playing for goal for the first time since 1999. The Army, their back line has been stout. They've scored when they've needed to. Mark Anthony Cambrone trying to get to it. Offside called on Christian King.
You talk about that back line there for the Marines, and one of the major players is Randall McDermott, who is the team captain there for the Marine team, and he wants to shout out his fellow Marines at the 1st Supply Battalion and his wife Ginny and their 6-month-old baby Max.
Well, you know, baby Max is proud of his dad. What Randall McDermott's done. McDermott, he's the one who set up the first against the All-Army team in the opener.
And I think with his performance this tournament, he too has a good shot to make it that Armed Forces team and that all tournament team as well.
Great ball by Chad Quick. Boy, he did it so quickly as well. I know, full pun intended. I mean, but his service there to Louis Robinson almost caught the Marine back line off guard. By the way, the win last match for the Marine Corps over the Navy was their first in 11 years, Kristen. It's their first since September 30th of 2012. And that was right here at Camp Pendleton. History repeats itself, right? I mean, it's full circle 11 years later. Marine Corps finally get a win over the Navy in beyond dramatic fashion. As improbable of a win as you can get. You've played this sport, you know it as well as anyone, Kristen. To score a goal in the 85th minute, down 2-0, to make it 2-1, and then find a way to score 10 minutes later, 90 plus 5. There was 6 minutes of stoppage time added on, so they literally scored an equalizer at the death of regulation. Ariel Reyes goes down, our first yellow card. That's going to go on Victor Kosivi. He gets his first.
And I think the difference maker there for the Marines is just mentality. They have an incredible mentality, and they have been able to come back from all the losses, and it's just been super fun to watch here from the booth.
Kosivi gets called for the yellow card. That was definitely the right call looking at that replay. But yeah, and then it wasn't just equalizing. Then they had to still win it, right? We've seen so many teams come back, and you say, wow, they're riding that momentum wave. But in soccer, all it takes is one good service, one good through ball, whatever it may be, good counter, and that's it. Found a way to dig deep and win. Marine Corps trying to find a way here to score the first. The Army has not trailed at any point in this tournament. Skying high and missing it, but it pings off the post, off the chest of Carlos Vasquez Perez. Saved again, Stephen Wisnat, left foot into the back of the net. The Marines play ping pong inside the 18, just outside the 6. And right here at home at Camp Pendleton, after I just said the Army has not trailed at any point in this tournament, Stephen Wisnat finds the back of the net for his second consecutive match, 1-0 Marine Corps.
And here's the replay here on this goal. It just goes through the hands of Barbe for Army. And the Marine Corps just won't stop, and they do a great job finishing that.
What a service it was to begin with. But yeah, it's a mistake for Luke Barbe. He was definitely frustrated with himself. Right through the hand, skied in the air, pinged off the post, off the chest of Carlos Vasquez Perez. Then Adam Laundrie tried to clear right there. Stephen Wisnat with the keeper and Barbe outside the 6. He was still trying to recover after the last sequence. He was on the turf. Stephen Wisnat was there to clean it home.
And Wisnat does a great job getting his body over that ball. It's easy from that point to skyrocket it over, but he does a good job under pressure to just bury it away.
There's so many firsts. That's the first time, and this is the first time the Army have had to play from behind in this tournament. I just mentioned it on that free kick, on that set piece. This is the first time the Marine Corps have scored in the first half all tournament long. As I mentioned earlier, right foot try Oseguera and saved by Marc-Anthony Cambron. So a good try there by No holding mid, and then Ivano Seguera testing Cambron, make sure he's paying attention, makes the save. But so the first time the Army has trailed, the first time the Marine Corps have scored in the first half, just the second goal allowed by the Army all tournament long. And now the Army have to try and equalize here, 31st minute.
And they're going to be looking for that goal as quickly as possible. The longer it goes on without a goal, the worse it is for Army. So they're going to want to get that before halftime.
It's another reminder, the Army has not scored a goal earlier than 45 minutes in any match in this tournament through the first 3 of pool play. So they're a team, again, plays in control, plays comfortably, but now we'll see. It's the first time that anybody has kind of put their backs against the net a little bit, if you will, in this tournament. So how did they respond? Quay finds Carlos Vasquez-Perez. Carlos Vasquez-Perez, Krantz, who subbed in for Brandon Torres. Krantz working on Adam Laundrie. His last touch by Aaron Krantz. It'll be a goal kick for Barbe. Something about set pieces for the Marines, huh?
Yes, they're dangerous. And like I said, Wisnat, with his height and his ability to win those 50-50 balls, have made the difference.
And even that time, his presence and his length and size to kind of clear everybody out. Kind of ricochet, off the ricochet, was able to put one into the back of the net. Good stop there by Quay to keep it in play.
And the Marines have done a good job so far shutting down John Ponte there for Army as they elect to go long. They look to, in the former games, they look to play his feet, but they're looking to go over the top now.
Maverick Mola back heel was looking for Carlos Vasquez-Perez. I was getting ready to say, too, if the Army were able to clear on that goal by Wisnat, I was getting ready to say, that's been all tournament long on both sides. The Army have found a way to clear the ball in dangerous situations all tournament long. And the Marine Corps, how many times have they pinged one off the post? I mean, they've met the post now. I believe it's 4 times, if not 5 times in this tournament. They've crunched a couple off the crossbar as well. And you know that Rocky Ferdinand was probably thinking, we just have to score here. And they did. John Ponce with the foul. Player is down here for the Marine Corps. Looks like that's Javier Aguila. Javier Aguila's thinking, listen, it's already a tough go of it to have to man mark John Ponce, and he's laughing as he gets up. That's what he's saying to everyone there, and that's what he's saying to the referee. And Abdou Ndiaye, he's saying, listen, I already got to man mark this guy who scored 3. Can't let him push me from behind. Ndiaye was all over it. Nice deflection there by Castro. Krantz with some space has Laverick Mola out wide on the far flank. Can Mola set up a second? Deke move. Left-footed cross over everyone. Mola scratching his head that time after that service. It just goes back to the point we've been talking about the last week. I just wonder, you give these guys about 3 to 4 weeks, or excuse me, 3 to 4 months instead of 3 to 4 weeks to practice with one another and really be cohesive as a team. But also, too, you know it as a former player, the touch on the ball. I have no doubt, I have so much confidence in you that you could go out and play really good soccer. But I think you tell everyone your touch on the ball is just going to be off, having not played it for a while.
And I know these men, a lot of them play on their base with their fellow Marines. But like you said, it's rare that they get the opportunity to get players from this level together in order to play at a higher, faster level. And so that's a hard thing for them to come in and do.
Marine Corps got to get back here defensively. Louis Robinson. Blake was calling for it, and boy, that's a big deflection there by Javi Aguila. Aguila with the interception. Oh, wow. Good move there by Javier Aguila. He's showing up and showing out so far for the Marine Corps. Ariel Reyes, I believe it was last touched by Ivano Seguera. It was. This is a throw-in on the near side for the Marine Corps.
And great composure there by the Marines as they try to slow this game down a little bit. They would love to go into halftime up a goal, and so they're going to try to slow it down. All these little opportunities for them to do so.
And they know. Everyone is going back, watching film, scouting as much as they can. They know that the Army and this all-Army team, they're lurking like a shark in the water. I mean, in the next 9 minutes or so is when the Army has struck in all 3 matches prior. 45th minute twice, 45 plus 1 once, and that was in the opener against the Marine Corps. Mola pops one in the air. Quick heads it away. Good touch by Reese. Reese is running the flank on the far side. Reese might have got it poked away by Reyes, and foul going to be called for sure. And that's a frustration foul there on Joseph Reese. I think Reese maybe was frustrated right there, Captain, that he got that poked away.
And a foul that far down the field also allows Reese the time to get back, regroup before they go again. So that's a good foul there by him.
Christian King gets called for one. King stationed in Fort Hood, Texas. Service not enough there by Wisnat. Quay trying to run with Blake. Quay couldn't quite get there, and they switch. So now Quay is on Ponce. Javi Aguila's trying to stop the ball, and reinforcements coming. Esquivel, Blake, and it's past the touchline. This will be a goal kick.
That was a good double team there by the Marine Corps defense. As we saw, Blake was dangerous in the last game by shooting it outside the 18, so that was a good closeout by Marines to get double down on that ball.
What do you think Rocky Ferdinand's thinking right now? Up 1-0 in the 39th minute.
He knows that it's critical to go into halftime with that lead, and so he wants the team to play smarter. They're going to be a little bit more defensive-minded until the end of the half, so he's going to want to go into that halftime 1-0.
McDermott comfortably playing it back to Cambrone. John Ponce. Victor Kosivi. And it just feels like if the Marine Corps want to win this game, obviously they have their first already, but if they want to win this game, their back line just has to step up and be stout for them. They allowed 2 against the Army in the opener. They allowed 2 last match against the Navy. They were brilliant for 113 minutes against the Air Force in that 1-0 shutout win. But they know that their attack is great. They know what their attack can do, but they also know that 1 goal may be it in a game against the best back line in this tournament of the Army. And so it just feels like here in the 40th minute, as you get a yellow card on Ariel Reyes.
And that's not a smart yellow card there by Reyes. He got the yellow card for throwing the ball past the defender after the foul was already called. It's a little bit of unsportsmanlike conduct there.
Just feels like the pressure, if any, even though it's David versus Goliath, Goliath being the Army, 13 times prior, a champion. Marine Corps haven't won since 1998. They've only won twice since the tournament started in 1981. The back line, tough task. They have held the Army through 40 plus. Good move by Joseph Reese. Christian King. King trying to get it to his right foot. A lot of dribbling by King. He's okay with it. King has Oseguera. Instead elected to serve one in. He had Oseguera wide open, and now off the head, popped in the air. Aaron Krantz. Can Krantz outrun Quick? He cannot.
And Quick is another one that has just been consistent all tournament long, and I think he too has a good shot at that all Armed Forces team.
Laundry looking for Devontae Blake. Quay tries to clear. That might be, and I'm serious with it, that might be the first mistake we've seen from Chad Quick all tournament long. And it's not one that is probably going to cost the Army anything here. It's a throw-in on the far side for the Marine Corps. But even he showcases that he's indeed human. Looked like a good no call there. Marine Corps right now, it almost seems like their strategy is, listen, 1-0 like you talked about, partner, they're okay being up 1-0. When in doubt, clear it out for the rest of this half and then regroup at halftime. Victor Kosivi, slide tackle. This will be a corner here on the near side. Wonderful display there by Victor Kosivi. That's Sergeant Victor Kosivi. He's another one stationed in Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Louis Robinson to take it here. Every goal has been in the 45th minute or 45 plus 1 for the Army the last 3 matches. Could it be 1 minute earlier, looking for the equalizer, back post, nobody there. Quay likely gonna boot it away. Instead, a little bit too much dribbling.
And that was a missed opportunity there by Army. Nobody wants to see the ball go all across the 18 like that with nobody touching it. That's a rare opportunity and a rare missed one by Army.
Service in to the 18, and the Marine Corps yet again, they hold. Mark Anthony Cambron maybe taking a little time here.
And I think he deserves a lot of credit. He came in after Brock Barbeau got injured, and he's done a great job filling that goalkeeper spot for Marines.
Christian King keeping it in. Running down the far side, slide tackle by Stephen Wisnat. That was dangerous. That'll draw a yellow card. And here we go. The magical minute for the Army. This 45th minute. Clear foul there on Wisnat.
And a good yellow card decision there by the referee, keeping this game under control, but we've seen quite a few yellows already, and we hope that doesn't become part of the play here in the second half.
So Wisnat's got a yellow. It looks like that's the first yellow. Nope, excuse me, Ariel Reyes also has a yellow for the Marine Corps. Louis Robinson or Joseph Reese, we'll see. Who's going to take it here for Army? The 45th minute is gone, and there are 3 minutes being added on. They scored in this exact moment against the Marine Corps. Miscommunication that time. Boy, you don't see that a lot, but it's served in by Reese, looking for Ponce. It was off of somebody's back. It will be a throw-in for Army.
It almost looked like they didn't know who was going to take that, and that kind of killed the momentum there for Army.
Adam Laundrie going to take the throw in here. So this is 45 plus 1. 3 minutes we're at it on. Army trying to equalize. They could right here. Right foot deflection. Left foot try. Another deflection by Reyes. Marine Corps have held serve brilliantly so far. Maverick Mulla the other way on the counter. Last touch by Mulla. At this point here, Kristen, you got to think in the final 80 or so seconds, you just have to clear it away if you're the Marine Corps. You can't have something like this happen. Great slide tackle by Aguila. Here's Blake. He scored last match against the Air Force. Sends it over everything. And now this just wastes some time.
And like you said, you can see the Marine Corps packing it in for the defense back there. Doing a good job not letting Army get a goal in there before half.
Mark Anthony Cameroon kind of slipped that time. Marine Corps just trying to find a way to get out of here. They cannot see this score get equalized. The Army, of course, would love to find the back of the net here in the closing stages of the first half. Ivano Seguera looking for Robinson off the head of Wisnat. Great play, and Mark Anthony Cameroon corrals it. That gets a big applause from the fans here at Camp Pendleton. I think there's a lot of nervous energy in the air. They erupted in the Marine Corps crowd here at Camp Pendleton after that first goal. But since then, they know that the Army has struck just before half in all 3 matches prior. They also know how dangerous this Army attack is. And so I think they've held their breaths. But right now, the Marine Corps, they are 45 minutes away from potentially celebrating the gold medal for the first time since 1998. What a start to this match for the Marine Corps. The Army are going to try and regroup, but it was Stephen Wisnat, Staff Sergeant, originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who's made his home here at Camp Pendleton. This is where he's stationed, found the back of the net. That's the difference here in the first 45.
If we've learned anything throughout this tournament, we know it's not over yet, and anything can happen, as we've seen a lot of late goals here in the second half, and so that's what we're going to be looking forward to here.
Halftime here. Great piece on Chad Quick and what it means to represent the All-Army team, as well as another great piece by our crew from the 2nd Audio-Visual Squadron, Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah, on the 1998 championship team for the Marine Corps. Marine Corps, of course, they're trying to party like it's 1998. After the conclusion of this match, we will see you guys after this break.
So I actually just met Chad Quick. I heard about him from one of my former All-Army coaches. He told me how great of a talent he was and how good he was to work with on the back line. And I can say he's honestly lived up to the hype. And being his outside back has been a really smooth transition. He plays really well on the back line. He communicates well with me, and that allows me to my job to be a little bit easier.
So right now I shifted to the executive officer. The 9/11 has a real-world mission that's 24/7, around the clock. We're right there in the heart of DC, standing by to provide technical rescue capabilities to the National Capital Region. And I think that's something that's unique. You don't get that at many FORCECOM units. Is one of one in the DoD. There's no other company like it. We're a standalone engineer company that focuses on 5 rescue disciplines, which are mine, trench, confined space, structural collapse and rope rescue. So a lot of people don't know what technical rescue means, and it's anything that exceeds the capabilities of normal firefighters and emergency responders.
So when I first heard about Chad Quick's job, I thought it was made up. I was like, no way, that's an actual job in the Army. But I do know there are some unique positions that you can get in the Army, and he told me about it, and I thought it was just so cool what he does. The fact that he can he can respond to a crisis and save people if they're stuck on the top of roller coasters. So it's a very unique job. I don't think there's anyone better for the position. I think the leadership that he's shown here at All Army makes him perfect for the position and that type of crisis response. And I think in a stressful situation like that, he would handle it perfectly and execute.
Yeah, so within technical rescue, a lot of times you're operating in small man teams. So you really have to have that trust and communication across the entire organization. So that, I think, translates well to the soccer field because we have to trust each individual player, you have to trust your midfield, you have to trust your forwards. And having that communication, working on just clear, concise communication is effective for the team. I think the biggest thing about this experience is just making soldiers aware of the opportunities that are out there. No matter what their passion is, there's something within the Army or within the military that they can do that stuff for the military. Whether it be a sport or like esports gaming, anything, there's something for everybody out.
Yes, Alex, the Marines are excited to be hosting this year. As you saw in the opening ceremonies, the Marines 1998 gold medal team is here to support.
My favorite memory was we were playing the Navy in the last game, and the winner of that game was going to determine the winner of the championship. And we had like about 1 minute left, and our midfielder put the ball right into the goal. That was my most favorite thing. I almost passed out for the joy that I presented that day.
Some of the keys to success is having the kids, I call them kids now because they're much younger, is to constantly play soccer throughout the years, and continue to have that playing time. So when you get to the tournament, you're already fit, you've already been playing the game, and that's part of the keys to success. The Marine Corps doesn't win this tournament too often, as you can tell by the time period. It would really mean the most to the guys on the field, with all their hard work and dedication over the time to get to this point.
All right with the Marine Corps, so that
Speaking
they're getting
of physicality, McDermott, and it's headed into the back of the net. Oh, what a ball from Randall McDermott. Back here at Camp Pendleton, getting ready for the second half of the gold medal match between the Marine Corps and the Army. Really quickly before the start of this second half here, we want to shout out our second audio-visual squadron crew. There is Senior Airman Kevin Allen, who's working camera 3. He's got a face for in front of the camera. You can see him there, the personality. He's also got a great mustache. And then the next one we have, he's been doing a great job over there on the end line. And the next person we have, Joshua Carroll, A1C Joshua Carroll, working camera operator 4. You don't want to miss this action here, but also Mr. Burke Baker is camera operator 2, pointing to the chest there. He's a wonderful human being and also a great cameraman. Our terrific crew has been working hard all week long to make sure everything got set up. About a 48-hour plus drive from Layton, Utah with the production truck. But we got to shout out our whole crew real quick. How about Tia James, who's done audio? She's done stats as well. A1C Tia James, then A1C Sean Lamb, our Shade Tech Audio 2, and A1C Victoria Edwards, who's been up here in the booth. Shout out to Victoria, who's kept us company all week long. Audio 2 as well as stats. Trevor Wood. Oh, where would we be without Trevor Wood and his graphics? Mr. Trevor Wood in the truck. Then you got Mr. Jason Davis, who's supplying some of the graphics lineups. He's the engineer in charge, Mr. Jason Davis. Staff Sergeant Aaron Moody, as well as Senior Airman Nate Hampton, Aaron Modry, the 2 assistant engineers. And then Staff Sergeant Jordan Barons, Assistant Director in EVS. Senior Airman Brittany Manchester, our Technical Director. Staff Sergeant Franklin Harris, he's been on camera 1. He's been helping out with everything. He was wiping off the lens earlier inside the booth, making sure we look even better than we already do, Captain Lynn. But then Mr. Justin Fairley, our wonderful producer, and Mr. Adam White, our dynamic director. Without those two guys, we are nothing. And the heart and dedication they put into this broadcast. And then you, partner, Captain Kristen Lynn. First time ever on air, not shy, not bashful, a sport you grew up playing, you love it. You've done a phenomenal job. And that is our crew.
And you've been a great member here for the 2 AVS for Alex Gold. So thank you for having us and for making it worthwhile for us. But another thing to note here for back to the game is we had some few key subs here for Army. So in the game is number 12, Jake Tosta, which is a sub they made at half for number 6, Victor Kosivi. And they also made a goalkeeper change for
Here's Robinson
Army.
Looking for the equalizer, be a corner.
You see now Jay May in for Army, and Luke Barbet was taken off at half.
So a keeper change, and that's pretty unique. You don't see that a whole lot. So May, who started the very first match of the tournament against the Marine Corps, haven't really seen him since. Barbet is off, Kosivi's off, and then Jake Tosta is in. Joseph Reese here to take the corner for the Army, looking to equalize right away here in the second half. Off the head of Javier Aguila. This will be a throw-in on the far side. And by the way, to Aaron Modry, it's amazing. You just told me how to pronounce his last name, and I already forgot. So, so apologies to him. But our crew has just been fantastic all tournament long. And then a lot of statisticians as well who've helped out from the Marine Corps, from the Army, from the Navy, from the Air Force, who have been helping with some stats work. It's been a team effort. Last but not least, Steve Denault, for everything that man has done. He plays the role of tournament director. He plays the role of making sure that everyone gets to their places on time. He was driving me around earlier this week and making sure everything was okay. He's also the photographer who's been getting great shots of the action. He also writes those write-ups at the end of each match to summarize the match in case you missed it. So he gets a monster shout-out to Mr. Steve Denault. But 1-0 here, 50th minute of this match. What is something you're looking for here from the Army to equalize?
Army is going to have to look for other options other than John Ponce. I think the Marines have done a great job shutting him down, man-marking him throughout the entire game, and they're going to have to look for other options there to get the goal.
And then if you're the Marine Corps, got to keep playing your attacking style, right? Trying to put the pressure. Sometimes the best defense and to keep the other team off the board is to play in your attacking third.
Yeah, we know they're not going to let up. They have a strong mentality. They're going to go for more goals, but they're also going to play a little bit more conservative. And defense really here is going to be the difference maker for today as they win championships. And if they can pull it out, that this is what they're going to do.
Aaron Krantz takes a tumble. No call. Here's John Ponce. Just talked about it. This matchup has been so fun to watch between Ponce and Aguila. Adam Quay with some help side defense here. Ponce still dribbling. Christian King, who had a miss last match, plays it out wide. Right foot ricochet off a couple of defenders there for the Marine Corps. Was last touched by Omar Esquivel. It'll be a corner kick here for the Army. Corner. Devontae Blake. Louis Robinson with the left foot. Going to dribble a little bit. Robinson, left foot try, and a save by Marc-Anthony Cambrone. Another big stand for the Marine Corps. Good dribbling here. Good service. Christian King. King, maybe a little bit too much dribbling that time. He's apologizing to his teammates there. It'll be a goal kick for Marc-Anthony Cambrone. You talk about all the time, holding the fort is a phrase you hear a lot in life, and it can be military terms, but also just talking about, I mean, the Marine Corps right now, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold down Camp Pendleton. They're trying to find a way to keep Army off the board. Ponce could try one if he wants to, trying to get to his right, skies it over everything. Another goal kick upcoming.
And Ponce pretty frustrated there with his attempt at goal. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities for an open shot, so he's pretty disappointed in himself with that attempt.
Army's done a nice job so far of shutting down Carlos Vasquez-Perez. Ball by Ponce. Robinson can't get there. Good touch by King. Blake. Ooh. He was, I believe, looking for a goal there, but just didn't turn his body and booted that past the sideline. Army searching for an answer to this Marine Corps back line. They've not been able to break through like they have in the previous 3 matches. The Army, by the way, they've only scored 1 goal in the second half, and that was via a PK, and it was a questionable call. We talked about it in that very first match against the Marine Corps. Their attack, it seems like in the second half, has just not been the same as what we've seen in the first. throughout this tournament. They've only got 40 minutes to do so here. A little bit less, 35 minutes to do so, to try and find something and equalize. 35 minutes, still plenty of time in the sport of soccer, but with each second that ticks off, a little bit more pressure builds. Devontae Blake, he sent Army to the gold medal match. Robinson, nice sliding stop by Marc-Anthony Cambrone. Kind of caught that in between his legs. A big time stop for number 25 in green.
And here's the replay on that stop. Great stop there by the goalkeeper, Cambrone, to come off his line, make that tackle, and he's done a great job all tournament long.
Good ball by Laverick Mola, and Carlos Vasquez Perez is saying, listen, because Chad Quick has been on my left shoulder, my right shoulder, all over my back so far today in terms of the defense he's played. He's like, I may not get a chance to dribble here, so he tried a one time and it's wide of the mark. More Marine Corps faithful starting to trickle in here to Camp Pendleton. Jake Tosta. Good ball to Christian King. It was last poked away by Javier Aguila. So Louis Robinson gonna make the jog to the corner flag on the far side. Robinson looking for Blake. Blake's got some space. Marine Corps wanted the handball. Blake with a rifling rocket. And another save by Marc-Anthony Cambrone. And I'm serious. We talked about this the other day. Now a great ball by Marc-Anthony Cambrone to Carlos Vasquez Perez. Carlos Vasquez Perez trying to get past Adam Laundrie. King has to play it past the touchline. But Marc-Anthony Cambrone, not easy. He had to come on for Brock Barbo, who got injured a couple of matches ago. Marc-Anthony Cambrone, a lot of times you see keepers that are about 6'3", 6'4". You do. You see him with size. You see him with length because they can get to some of those balls wide that are near the post, right? And can kind of jump up and save one. He's a guy, he's all heart. He's just all heart. He's a great keeper for the Marine Corps. We're looking for a second potentially here. Not going to get it there. Good stop here. Numbers 3v1. Nobody back for the Marine Corps. Blake couldn't find Louis Robinson. Oh, that's a big mistake there by Devontae Blake. I mean, he had Robinson wide open here on the near side. If he plays it to him, it's a 1v1 between Robinson and Cambrone.
And that was a huge mistake, like you said, by Blake. They had a 3v1 opportunity, and I'm not sure if he took the shot there or was trying to go wide. It looked like a little bit of in-between. But like you said, two players wide open there for Army and just a missed opportunity there.
That's one of those for Josh Green, who makes a nice catch over there on the sideline. That's one of those for Josh Green. He's got to be thinking, boy, we have a 3-on-1 situation there. You've got to find a way to at least get a shot up and make Cambrone make a save. And I give some credit to Javier Aguila again. I mean, it was 3-on-1 for the Army, and he's sitting there thinking, oh boy, this is dangerous, but he played the ball perfectly, kind of waited. He didn't backpedal. He kind of waited and got that defensive stand. And as it stands right now, that's the defensive play of the day. Good ball. Carlos Vasquez Perez. Flag stays down. Vasquez Perez trying to play it to himself. Keeper's out. Oh, wow. What a play there by Jay May.
That was a great job there by J. May to come off of his line and really win that ball in the air, not giving him an opportunity to strike. And so that was a good job by J. May.
Ponce on the other end. King, Blake, Ponce. He's got 3 already in this tournament. Looked like maybe it was a foul on Ponce, but nothing called. Gio Castro went down. Nice deflection. Speaking of Castro, played it off the chest. Krantz trying to turn. Army not allowing him to. Joseph Reese. Good slide tackle by Gio Castro. When in doubt, they just keep booting it up the pitch to find number 10. Carlos Vasquez Perez, and why not? He's trying to buy some time here. Great 1v1 defense there by Donald Williams. A lot of respect between those two guys. We've seen so many strikers in this tournament. When they get dispossessed 1v1 with a defender, all they do is look at the defender and say, listen, great job. I mean, it's great 1v1 defense. And we've also seen the same from a lot of the members of the back line. If a striker puts one past the keeper into the back of the net, they were 1v1, they give them a lot of props as well. And these guys are appreciating the effort and the style of play. Ponce got pushed from behind. It's a foul on Aguila.
And they may be playing against each other today, but like we've said, there's other opportunities, including the All-Armed Forces team, in which they could be teammates. So like you said, good sportsmanship is critical here because these can be your teammates pretty soon.
Off the head and the equalizer, Chad Quick. What a service from Joseph Reese. The Army level it at 1. What a ball by Joseph Reese from one member of the back line to the other. Chad Quick, oh my.
Here's the replay of this goal. Great service there by Reese, getting to the head of Chad Quick. And like we've said, he's been a difference maker today. It was fun to see his highlight piece at halftime, and he has been an all-star here for Army.
Near post, Chad Quick. What a header, and what a service. And ball into the 6 by Joseph Reese, Corporal Joseph Reese. Found First Lieutenant Chad Quick. 63rd minute. Marine Corps had held strong for 61 plus. Could not hold there.
And we talked about it in the first game today, but today's game is a little bit different.
Big takeaway here for Ponce. Big mistake by Wiz. Now Ponce looking for his 4th. Oh, what a slide tackle by Aguila. What more can number 15 do today? You got to think he's looking at the rest of the back line and saying, I need some help here. He saves the day yet again. Boy, what a tackle. And always dangerous. When you go to the ground, slide tackle inside the 18, it is dangerous. You're making the decision that, hey, I'd rather risk a penalty here than Ponce to put one into the back of the net. Army, after equalizing, they're trying to go up 2-1. They're looking for Quick again. Now Devontae Blake out wide to King. King, right foot try off the arms of Cambrone. And it was last touched by, wait a minute, flag goes up offside. So flag goes up offside for Army. It'll be a goal kick coming up here for the Marine Corps.
And Army really has the Marine Corps defense on their heels as they've done a good job this last 10 minutes of providing critical opportunities here for Army.
Sub getting ready to check on here for the Marine Corps. So I think they have that backwards over there, it looks like. So Esquivel is actually the one out. So Esquivel's the one coming off, and I'm shocked to see that, to be honest with you. Esquivel's coming out. Jonathan Campamontenegro's coming in. So this is the first time we've seen Jonathan Campamontenegro since the own goal against Navy in that first half. And listen, I know there's an own goal, but he's a key player for him. It's good to see him back on the pitch, but Omar Esquivel comes off. Last time we'll see him here in this tournament. If anything else, Omar Esquivel, he'll be remembered for that goal in extra time on the set piece that sent the Marine Corps to the gold medal match.
And you're going to see the coaches here be pretty strategic with their subs. As I was saying, it's a little bit different here for this game. There is no golden goal if we go into overtime. So both overtime periods will be played in full.
Maverick Mola. Mola looking for Carlos Vasquez Perez. Quick, who has literally done everything for Army in this tournament. Not only has he had to deny everyone of goal chances and potential goals, he's scored the equalizer off the head. John Ponce plays it short to Blake. These two have been in unison all tournament long. Great move by John Ponce. He's so skilled with the ball at his feet. And Jonathan Campamontenegro dispossessed Ponce. But it looks like advantage was being played. So foul was called there by the referee and Abdou Ndiaye. So Reese served one in last time to Quick. Robinson's taken a lot of these free kicks the last couple of matches. He still could take one here with the left foot. But after Reese, who took it last time, you got to think they're sticking with him here. We'll see. And it is going to be Reese. Gonna serve one in. Looking for Blake off the head of Jonathan Campamontenegro. Christian King misses wide. Gio Castro, Ariel Reyes, Jonathan Campamontenegro. Reyes going the wrong direction, trying to hold off the Army defense. Gio Castro can play it to McDermott if he wants to. Instead, not sure about that decision, played it off the chest of Louis Robinson. Boy, he had McDermott wide open. Devontae Blake, great touch. Here's Louis Robinson. Robinson crossing it in with the left over everything. Not a great service there and a cross from Robinson.
And the Marines, like you said, need to do a better job of possessing it. They need to be playing simple, playing to feet, because every time they lose the ball, Army has a fast counterattack.
Ariel Reyes. Got a 4v3 right now. They have numbers, but that pass didn't lead Aaron Krantz. It was behind him. Krantz keeps it alive, though. Carlos Vasquez Perez, but then a foul on Aaron Krantz. Boy, the Marine Corps, if they wind up dropping this match in the gold medal match against Army, they're going to look back at a play like that. Ariel Reyes, who's been just spectacular all tournament long, just did not lead Aaron Krantz. The pass was behind him.
And we see the free kick being taken there by Jay May, who was a substitute at half. And an interesting tidbit there about him is that he hasn't been playing keeper long. He only started playing keeper in 2019.
Yeah, that's impressive. Not too many times you see a guy starting for a team coming in at the half and being asked to not allow any goals when you start keeping in 2019.
He sure has the size advantage, so I know that made it easier for him.
Yeah, absolutely. They just wouldn't put you and I as keepers more often than not. But listen, Marc-Anthony Cabron doesn't have a lot of size, and he's been spectacular as well for the Marine Corps. He's trying to defy that stereotype that you have to be tall and lengthy to be a keeper. So foul called here. Free kick for Steven Wisna. 70 minutes have gone by. So for the first time all tournament long, the Marine Corps scored in the first half. For the first time all tournament long, the Army did not score in the first half. But we are still knotted up 1-1. Level at 1 here. 20-plus minutes to go of regulation. Is a winner going to be decided in regulation? Or for a fourth time in this tournament, will we go to extra time? McDermott looking for Castro. Castro back to McDermott. McDermott has Mola. Last touch by, wow. Last touch by McDermott. He can't believe it. We had a pretty good vantage point here, Kirsten. It did look like maybe that was off of Army.
And something to keep in mind, though, for the folks watching at home is that although we can see the replays and the video monitor, the refs do not. They don't have any VAR for second opportunities for review. So that is something to keep in mind because we've gotten so used to seeing that VAR at play in watching soccer, but we don't have that here today.
Yeah, I actually think these refs have been tremendous all tournament long. Done an amazing job. That one was close. And again, yeah, like you said, we have different vantage points and different angles. They do not. Not a great touch by Mola. Robinson dispossessed by McDermott. Maybe playing angry after that last call. And yet again, Reyes stops on. He finds Jonathan Camp of Montenegro. But he had Gio Castro to his right, or excuse me, to his left, wide open on the far flank. Jonathan Camp of Montenegro doesn't get it out of there. But Randall McDermott, he's been working hard all tournament long. Christian King gets it back. Ponce trying to control. Jake Tosta taken away. Gio Castro looking for Carlos Vasquez Perez. Can't get it there. Taken away by Donald Williams. Gio Castro has had some great touches on the ball today. Been very decisive defensively. And so has Donald Williams.
And the Marine Corps is struggling right now for their offense to keep hold of the ball. They keep losing it there in the offensive half, and that is being, and you can see that in the Army attack.
Good touch. Tosta. And then a foul, and they played advantage. Just didn't see the signal. But they played advantage to the referee there.
We have a sub here for the Marine Corps. It looks like we have it backwards again. Coming off the field.
I think it was just wrong altogether.
Yes, coming off the field looked like number 14, Laverick Mula. And coming on the field, I believe was number 6. No, he's already on.
Well, maybe that's what's coming up here. So this is the second switch. So now Aaron Krantz is coming off. So Abraham Casillas checked in. Mola came off. Krantz is off. And we're trying to see maybe Victor Flores the other player. Yeah, Victor Flores is the other player in. So Flores is in, Abraham Casillas is in, Mola off, Krantz off. Left foot try, Robinson, laser Caught by Cambrone.
I think that's interesting from the Marine Corps to take Krantz off, who already was a sub there in the first half, that first 10 minutes when he went in for an injured player. So that's an interesting sub there by the Marine Corps.
Ariel Reyes, great move there. Vano Seguera was beat. Reyes still dribbling off the foot of Quay, and then Reyes too much with the touch. Goal kick for J. May. What a ball there by J. May. He's looking for Blake. Finally headed away by Aguila. Marine Corps trying to dig deep here. Just seems like the Army have had their number in this second half. Putting a lot more pressure. Great ball. Chance trying to clear away. Right foot. Deflection. Finally cleared away by Casillas. Adam Quay. Lays it back to Casillas. Out of the camp of Montenegro. Javier Aguila. Good decision there to get it to Casillas, who's got a little bit of space on the far flank. Casillas, Carlos Vasquez Perez. Great ball by Casillas, but Carlos Vasquez Perez goes down. That would not have been a penalty. It was just outside the penalty area. Popped in the air. Robinson, wow, great touch. Devontae Blake, he scored the game winner to send Army to the gold medal match against the Air Force in the 45th minute. Ivano Seguera with a slide tackle, nothing called. Quay misses there. King could try one, instead going to dribble. Can he keep it in touch? Right foot cross. Nobody made a run. Blake was just standing there, so was Robinson.
I'm surprised by that. That was a great service there for Army, but like you said, everybody's standing in the box and nobody went for that one there.
This will be, so they played the corner extremely quickly. This will be a corner kick now on the far side. It'll be Joseph Reese. Anxious moments here for everyone. Especially this Marine Corps crowd. Been so proud of the effort from these men on the pitch. Can they stand again? Off the head, in there, pinged around, looking for the equalizer. Excuse me, not the equalizer. Would have been to go up 2-1. It was hard to see what happened, but it's going to be another corner on the far side.
It looked like it hit the post there, but it's hard to tell.
You got a little screen from our vantage point, but Reese going to take another corner here for the Army.
Here's another look at that last play here.
Laundry was in the mix. It's finally booted away. Army trying to go up 2-1 here. It's about 7 players that went down there. And a foul was called on Chad Quick of the Army. Quay was trying to keep it in. It's last deflected by Donald Williams. I mean, the motto for the Marine Corps, they've just found a way. Every match they have found a way to either keep themselves in the match or found a way to win. It's a hard foul by Quay. He knew it right away, and this is going to be a yellow card. '80th minute.
And we talked about it in the first match, but something unique about Army's jerseys is that they have their unit patch on the front. So each player repping their unique units on their jerseys, and that's a cool little touch there that they have for Army.
The Marines got their first win since May 13th of 2016 when they beat the Air Force in the 113th minute, double extra time. They followed it up with one of the most improbable matches ever. Cambrone is outside, and Cambrone goes down. He got clipped by the cleat of Christian King. Dangerous all around, Cambrone. He moved right away. If he didn't, King would have gotten first touch on the ball and likely buried one home.
And Cambrone did a good job there of coming off his line, and he's not afraid to do so. He doesn't hesitate, and that has been the difference here for Marines.
Good dispossession by King. Reese lost it, tried to get it back. Gio Castro, Victor Flores. Flores, good stop on the ball. Jonathan Campomontenegro can swing it out wide to the far flank. He does. This is Casillas. Casillas, service, left foot, off the head of Quick, off the back of Reese. Army trying to counter. King keeps it alive. Devontae Blake. Blake, a couple of good moves there. And a fake on the ball. There's King, right foot in the air. Those are always dangerous. You never know. Good read by Cambrone with the ball in the air. Ariel Reyes. Good turn. He's got some space. Jonathan Campomontenegro. Victor Flores. Carlos Vasquez Perez. Carlos Vasquez Perez gets taken down, no call, nothing doing. Abdouandie was all over it. He was right there. Said it was a no call. And that gets called by the AR1.
And that looks like Christian King there for Army, who's hurt, team captain. It looked like he was hit pretty hard just based on the way the referee waved his flag there.
So John Ponce is going to come off here. Take a look at the replay. Clear foul on Casillas. So John Ponce is going to come off here. This is sort of surprising, but we saw the same thing last match. But last match, when we saw this, Kristen, about the 83rd minute or so, it was 1-0 Army. So Ponce's tournament is done. So if this thing goes to extra time or PKs, they will not have John Ponce. It's going to be Chase Holden, Sergeant Chase Holden, stationed at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. He comes on here.
And we saw in the last game, Chase Holden does a great job of putting the pressure on for the defensive backs, and he makes them make a mistake. So I think that's a good sub there by Army.
Free kick here for Reese. Remember, last time, right around that spot, Holden was thinking about it. Louis Robinson gets it. Devontae Blake being defended by Quay, and a foul was called. Whoa, just outside. Well, maybe advantage again. I just haven't seen the signal. But Abdouandie, advantage was played. Boy, this is a ripe chance here for Robinson to put Army up 2-1 in the 84th minute.
And the Marines need to be careful about committing these fouls right outside the box. We've seen it that Army is dangerous on free kicks, and so they've got to be careful about those fouls.
Louis Robinson. Could he be the hero for Army in 2023? Four-man wall for the Marines. Trying to hold serve yet again. Robinson. Does he want to test Cambrone? 25 yards out, Robinson. Way high of the mark. The Marine Corps have played 3 straight double overtime affairs. If this gets to overtime, played 2 straight coming into this one. Last touch there by Javier Aguila, so this will be a corner kick, another set piece on the far side. Also too, Kristen, there hasn't been a lot of stoppages here in this second half, so we'll see, maybe 3-4 minutes to be added at most. Robinson will take it. Couldn't connect on the free kick. About 25 yards out. Robinson, corner on the ground. Cleared away by Casillas. Maybe a counter chance for Gio Castro. Couldn't quite control it, but it was cleared away by Reese.
And we talked about how this game is a little bit different than the pool play. There will be no golden goal in overtime, so both overtimes will be played in the entirety if we make it to overtime.
Indeed, if it goes to extra time, 30 minutes no matter what. King's got some space here. King thought about it from way out. Chipped in, but right to Cambrone off of Oseguera. These guys are gassed. It's been a long tournament, a lot of minutes on the pitch. Who wants it more though? Who's going to be the hero remembered forever in these games? Tournament history dates back to 1981. Marine Corps trying to win their first since 1998. They've only won it twice. Can the Army win for a 14th time? Here's Chase Holden, who was just subbed on 5 minutes ago. Deflected by Aguila. That gets an applause from the crowd. Headed away again by Aguila. He has been so great for the Marines today. Looks like Joseph Carslow is getting ready to check in for Army. So Carslow is in. Joseph Reese is out. Wow, so that's it for Reese. So Carslow, who started all 3 matches prior before this one, guy who made the all-tournament team in 2016, been a part of this program for a while now.
I'm a little surprised that they subbed out Reese, as he's been critical and had that goal-scoring opportunity in every free kick that Army has, so I'm a little bit surprised by him leaving the field today.
Laundry with the long throw in here. Looking for King. Marine Corps clear for now. Oseguera trying to serve one back in. He swung and missed a couple of different times. Robinson gets to it. It'll be a throw-in. So the last time in 2019 when the Army defeated the Air Force 2-1 in the gold medal match, foul going to be called here. That's silly there from Randall McDermott. He's complaining. But the last time in 2019, when the Army won it all, defeated the Air Force 2-1, they scored a goal, the game winner, in the 90th minute of that match at Naval Station Everett in Washington. And it was by the captain of the Army team, Andy Hires, who scored the winner. Guess what? It's the 90th minute, 4 years later. They're trying to defeat the Marines here at their home turf, Camp Pendleton. Louis Robinson off the head, saved by Cambrone. Oh, what a design play there. Robinson with that boot and service. He played it kind of short to Tosta. Jake Tosta with the shot attempt. It was saved by Marc-Anthony Cambrone. Now the other way. Victor Flores. Flores looking for Castro, who goes down, no call. And I believe that's the right no call there. Castro went down, he's grabbing that left leg.
And I know the crowd and us up here are all holding their breath to see how much extra time the referee is going to post as we have a player down here for the Marines.
Abdou Ndiaye, referee, helping up Castro. So let's see how much time is going to be added here. Renzo Hernandez, the fourth official, is going to put a 4 on the electronic board. So 4 minutes of added time. Do the Army have a dramatic winner in them? Can the Marine Corps hold right now? Or could they counter with something? Great header there by Jonathan Campamontenegro. And McDermott pops one way in the air. Collision between Quay and Oseguera. Foul was called there on Army.
And 4 minutes is a long time for stoppage time, so really both teams have the opportunity for that late goal.
If you're the Marine Corps right now, do you kind of want to slow it down though? Because the Army have really dominated this second half just in terms of possession and controlling tempo.
They're going to want to keep possession here, but they're not going to want to slow down. Nobody wants two full overtime opportunities for teams that have already seen it all tournament long and are fatigued.
Off the head of McDermott. Flores tried to save it, could not. Actually, it might have been a better thing that he didn't save it there. Robinson could have turned on the Jets and pushed. Robinson finds Holden. Holden, he could try one here. Instead was looking for Blake. Went off of Reyes. Offside was called. So offside was called, but it was deflected there by Ariel Reyes. So that was the AR1, Jacob Little, who put the flag up for offside. Although it was last touched by Reyes. Closing stages of regulation. Could be 30 more minutes in store for these two. Headed away. 4 minutes is always approximate. Holden serving one in. Blake, dangerous. Foul was called on Devontae Blake. Kind of got that cleat up there.
I think he was called there for a high kick, which, like you said, is a dangerous play, so the referee is going to protect the players there.
The Army has not played an extra time match in this tournament, so maybe they'll have fresh legs, more fresh legs, we should say. Throw in here for the Marines. The Marine Corps could be headed to their third straight extra time affair. It would be the 4th of 8 that will automatically in this match, because there's no golden goal, get into double overtime. 50% of the matches going to a second extra time period, unless Abraham Casillas could win it in dramatic fashion here, serving one in. See if he wants to play one right back to the penalty area. He does, but nobody made a run for the Marines. Everyone kind of stood around. Jay May with a big boot. That's from one keeper to the other. We'll see. Abdou-Ndiaye blows the whistle. Regulation, 90 minutes plus stoppage, not enough to decide a gold medal winner. So these two are going to regroup. 10-minute break here for these two respective sides. They'll talk over the strategy. Final thoughts at the end of regulation.
And just a reminder to those back watching with us, there's no golden goal, so both overtimes will be played in full. And so we're excited to see that the gold medal match here is going to overtime and possibly PKs.
Final thoughts. What do you think they're talking about on both sidelines?
It's do or die. This is it. This is what they've been working for the last 4 weeks. And I know both teams are hungry for this gold medal, and now's the opportunity to seize it.
When we come back, 30 minutes, 2 15-minute extra time periods. The Marines trying to win their first since 1998. The Army, after missing out last year, trying to win their first since 2019. More from Camp Pendleton when we come back. back here at Camp Pendleton, Oceanside, California. Regulation, 90 minutes, not enough to decide a winner between the Army and the Marines. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Captain Kristen Lynn, and our terrific crew with you for extra time. The first 15-minute extra time period. One last reminder, no golden goal. So if a goal is scored, we play on to the first 15 minutes. They'll take a break, switch sides, and then the next 15 minutes in the second double overtime frame. If there is not a winner at the end of these 30-plus minutes, we will go to penalty kicks for the first time in 2023.
Wow, it's been an exciting game and an exciting tournament. I think this is a good recap from what we've seen all week long from all the teams. And so this competition is fierce. It's 1-1, and we're looking forward to this overtime period.
The Marine Corps are playing in their third straight extra time match. The Army, this is their first of the tournament. The Marine Corps led 1-0 off the left foot of Stephen Wisnat. Targeting him there for the Marines. Ariel Reyes decided not to serve it in, now does, off the head of Joseph Karsla. Gio Castro. Nice sliding stop by Louis Robinson. The Army equalized. They answered on a goal in the second half. First time they were shut out in the first half all tournament long. That goal was by Chad Quick on a set piece. A stellar service by Joseph Reese. That's where we stand. Good ball by Robinson. Holden with fresh legs. Great slide tackle by Stephen Wisnat. Last touch by Wisnat will be a throw-in for the Army on the far side. Bodies are gassed. You've been in situations like this. You played plenty of overtime matches in your career. How do you dig deep here for the final 30 minutes?
I think we've seen it, especially from the Marine Corps in the last few games. They know how to dig deep. They have that mentality. And both teams, you know, being service members, that's something that they have instilled in them through basic training and things of that nature. So I don't think we'll have any problem with them digging deep here for the second half.
These keepers, they are tasked with stopping anything and everything right now, and could be tasked in 28 minutes or so with stopping anything and everything they can in a penalty kick shootout. Army last won it in 2019. It is in the closing stages of regulation against the Air Force. Good ball here. Holden is through. Chase Holden with a right foot try. Instead finds Robinson. Robinson pings one off the side of the net. Oh, what a golden opportunity for goal to try and win the gold medal match potentially. And Louis Robinson couldn't angle it home.
And there you see Chase Holden, like you said, with fresh legs, which was the difference maker on that run. And he does a great ball there, and just Robinson couldn't hit it home.
Chase Holden, who was subbed on in the 83rd minute. A lot of people were pretty surprised that he came on for John Ponce, who had scored 3 goals in this tournament. But Holden with a great run. He's got terrific speed. Played a perfect ball. I actually thought he was going to go for goal and try and test mark Anthony Cambrone. He actually surprised me. I wasn't even looking at Robinson on the backside of the play. But Robinson with tons of room could not bang one home. So still level at 1. 4th minute of this extra time frame. Carlos Vasquez Perez, seldom seen the ball at his feet today. The Army have made sure that number 10 can't get many chances. Marine Corps crowd getting into it here. They want to celebrate. They want to party like it's 1998. Ariel Reyes. Beautiful header there from Carslow back to J. May. Rocky Ferdine, Josh Green, 2 head coaches for these 2 branches. All they can do right now, they're still coaching on those sidelines, but all they can do is watch. Hope that someone will be the hero. Touch on the ball. Carlos Vasquez-Perez with good speed here. Carlos Vasquez-Perez trying to stall and find a teammate. Carlos Vasquez-Perez finally gets dispossessed. It was poked away by Ivan Oseguera. The counter maybe the other way. Pass a little bit behind Devontae Blake, but Blake sets up Holden nicely. Boy, Holden's got great speed. Holden looking for goal. Cambron deflection, and now cleared away by Adam Quay.
And you see there that Randall McDermott is still on the ground for the Marine Corps near the goal. Looks like he got injured there on that last play, but great job by him tracking that player who had a prime opportunity there for Army.
So McDermott's down. I'll tell you what, Chase Holden, talking about maybe the surprise that Ponce came off. Chase Holden, I'm amazed he was only subbed in the 83rd minute. He's been such a difference maker. And I'm not so sure, as you see grabbing the hamstring there, that left hamstring is McDermott. I'm not so sure there. If Cambron doesn't save that, Kristen, that might have been a goal.
Yes, Cambron has been pivotal in this second half for an overtime for the Marine Corps. And he's done a good job of coming in off the injury from Barbeau for the Marine Corps.
So this will definitely add some time to stoppage in the first extra time frame. Army 13-12 overall in gold medal matches. If they win this one, it'll be number 14. They'd be 1 behind the Air Force for the most all time. The Marine Corps 2-4 all time, trying to win their first since 1998. It would be just their 3rd since 1983. They are 2-4 all time in gold medal matches. Nice kick that time by Quay, and Holden, he's causing fits for the back line right now for the Marine Corps. Javier Aguila was tasked to man Mark Ponce. Thrown in off the head of Aguila, just talking about him. Reyes trying to get it out of there. Does so for now. Blake with a nutmeg of Casillas. Good ball here. Christian King. King right foot rocket. And some frustration for Christian King. He missed everything.
And that was a good look by Christian King, just showing off his talent there with that first touch. And he takes that opportunity, but just can't get it in the back of the net.
Since the start of the second half, I mean, it's been pretty much all Army. That's just been the story. The Marine Corps have just found a way to keep it equalized at 1-1 since that goal by Chad Quick in the 62nd minute. Robinson stopping on a dime. Never seems like he loses any speed. Robinson off of Wisnat. This will be an Army corner. Sub checking in for the Marines. Zimlo Wardak is in. Randall McDermott is out, so McDermott has to leave due to the injury. That's a tough blow and a tough break for the Marine Corps. Corner, chance, back post, dangerous by Quay.
And that is a big loss there by the Marine Corps. Randall is their team captain. He's done a good job of organizing the back line, and I know they're going to miss him.
Doing DA. He's done a pretty good job here. It's the referee. Louis Robinson to take the corner here on the near side. Ten minutes in. On the ground. It's touched by Victor Flores. Carlos Vasquez Perez, I've been watching him. Yeah, looks like he's starting to cramp up. He's been gassed. He is not sat out for a minute in this tournament.
And the Marine Corps is having a hard time there holding onto the ball and keeping possession.
The Army, they've only allowed 2 goals in this tournament. The Marine Corps, they've scored 6. It's the best back line, best defense versus the best attack. Laundry, Blake, Army knocking on the door. Blake right to left. Joseph Carslow. Carslow may take one. Headed away by Aguila. Well, maybe a counter chance. Wardak, can he control it? He cannot. He just checked in. He's got fresh legs, but couldn't keep it in play. And there's Carlos Vasquez Perez. Was just talking about him cramping up.
And you see Army goalkeeper there, Jay May, helping him out there with the cramp. Great sportsmanship here.
So a little break here. I'm not sure if anybody has substitutes left. The Marine Corps and the Army, they could have one each. Remember, you're allowed to sub in 5, but you can only do it 3 separate times throughout a match. Subbing at half does not count as one of those 3, so technically you're allowed 4, I guess, if you look at it that way. I'm not sure if anybody has any subs left.
And it looks like the Marine Corps is playing to get to penalty kicks. They're going to want to play safe, pack it in, and make it to penalty kicks. And I think that's going to give them the best shot to win.
Yeah, so that was the Marine Corps' final substitute there with Wardak. So they're out of subs. Chance here for Wardak, and Quick lets it go perfectly. The Army, I believe, has 1 sub left. I think they've used 4. Carslow checked in, Jake Tosta checked in, Chase Holden, and Jay May. So I believe the Army can sub 1 more time if they want to. If I'm doing my math correctly, I think the Marine Corps are out of subs. Carlos Vasquez Perez, who was just cramping up. You just couldn't tell there with his ability to play with pace and sprint up the pitch.
He doesn't have a lot of help there by the Marine Corps as they're staying pretty far back and not supporting him up front there.
Listen, we've seen some wild things from the Marine Corps in extra time. You got to think that, wow, Abdul Ndiaye did not allow the advantage to occur there, blew the whistle. Marine Corps can't believe it, but nonetheless, it's a foul. So they'll get the ball here, and maybe the last chance to strike here in the first extra time half. think the Marine Corps right now trying to slow it down. They'd like to see this be the last attack of this first extra time period. I think Camp Montenegro just gave it right to the Army. Blake, here's Holden. Silly play by Jonathan Camp Montenegro. Holden, great sliding stop. I mean, what more can Javier Aguila do? 3 minutes of stoppage time here because of the injury to McDermott. And now Aguila is gassed, but he can't sub off. I think that they are out of subs. He's got to get up and get ready to go. Louis Robinson to take it here. Remember, it's not golden goal, so if the Army strike, they go 2-1. Still going to be a second extra time frame. Robinson. Caught by Cambrone. The man's not any taller than 5'9". He's skied to the air to make the play. All heart from Mark Anthony Cambrone.
The Marine Corps defense is on their heels as they're just praying to make it now to the second overtime period.
Deflected by Blake. This will be a throw-in here on the near side. Abraham Casillas kept alive by Laundry. Now the Marine Corps got to get back. Good hustle by Quay. Rocking the headband. Adam Quay then left it. Boy, that was dangerous. Jonathan Campo Montenegro trying to serve one over the head of the center back there and Donald Williams. Good header there by Holden. Louis Robinson. Now the Marine Corps has got a hold for potentially the final minute here of stoppage time. Carslow kept it alive. Finds Carslow again. Robinson trying to get to his right foot, taken away. Jonathan Campo Montenegro, Ariel Reyes, good move. He's got some good skills, this Reyes. Here's Jonathan Campo Montenegro. He likes to wait. Plays it back. They had some numbers, but played it back instead to Javier Aguila. Good service by Aguila, but Reyes couldn't control it with the right boot.
And just a few seconds left here in this first overtime period. The ref is going to blow it now, ending that first overtime period.
1-1 through 15 plus in the first extra time frame between the Marine Corps and the Army. Even the refs are gassed right now. It's a lot of running out on the pitch. As we get ready to come to the broadcast booth, you see Josh Green there, the head coach for the Army, trying to talk it over with his troops here, trying to give everything they've got. So we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Hi, everybody. We know you're still with us. What a match it's been. What a tournament it's been. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Captain Kristen Lynn, and our outstanding crew. This is it, partner. The final 15 plus. Is there going to be a winner here, or are we going to go to PKs for the first time? It's been a stellar match.
Yes, we haven't gone to PKs yet in this tournament, as both teams have proven that they are able to score goals in the late minutes of the game. So I think anything is possible here.
Anything is possible. I mean, you take a look at this tournament, best defense versus the best attack. The Marine Corps have put 6 into the back of the net in this tournament. The Army have been stout defensively after trailing 1-0. They got an equalizer from Chad Quick. And it was both center backs. Steven Wisnat and Chad Quick were the two that struck on both respective sides. That's where we're at right now.
Yes, we've talked about it before. Defense wins championships, and I think in this game, that's going to prove to be critical for either team.
We will step aside when we come back. The final 15 minutes, double extra time. Is there going to be a winner? Is someone going to be hoisting the trophy, or are we going to go to PKs? Find out when we come back here at Camp Pendleton. Back here in Camp Pendleton. 1-1 between the Army and the Marines. Bodies are hurting, legs are cramping. But listen, Captain Lynn, you know it as well as anyone. If you played this sport, you got to give everything you've got, everything left in the tank. I mean, these men are on empty here, but you got to push through the final 15 minutes.
Yes, we have the whole crowd here on their feet with the home field advantage there for the Marine Corps, but anything's possible, and like you said, they've got to give it all they've got.
Carswell bangs one past the sideline. Be a throw in here for Gio Castro. Castro's going to give way to Steven Wisnat. Wisnat, he has scored twice. He's played stellar defense as well. Wisnat, ball curving a little bit off the head of Christian King. Blake goes down. Foul called on Steven Wisnat. Collective groan from the Marine Corps crowd here. With every second that goes by, these keepers, Jay May, who's going to take the free kick here, and Mark Anthony Cambrone are thinking, well, could I potentially be the hero in PKs? Good service, one keeper to the other. So one keeper trying to keep the other keeper honest here. The second extra time. You
can see that both teams are doing their best to get the ball in the box, and that's where the opportunities are going to come. We see long throw-ins, long free kicks. They're doing their best to get the ball in the box.
Javier Aguila. Quay, the wind is blowing right to left. You can see it with the ball in the air here. So the Army have the wind on their side. So when the Marine Corps are trying to clear here, it's a little bit tougher on this side of the pitch. So the Marine Corps in double extra time for the third straight match. They won the previous two. 113th minute goal by Carlos Vasquez Perez. That was the difference in that match. Foul was called, free kick here. Then Omar Esquivel in the 107th minute. The game winner that sent the Marines to their first gold medal match since 1999.
And that foul gives the Marine Corps an opportunity to get into the box here and get their team ready for this free kick.
Jonathan Campo Montenegro to take it, and it's stabbed by May. Being hung up there long enough for Jay May to get it. Christian King. Excuse me. That is Donald Williams. Last touched by Gio Castro. The Marine Corps, who have finished fourth 19 of the last 24 tournaments. Why do I bring that up? Because each tournament is different. This could be the team that not only doesn't finish fourth, but wins it all for the first time since 1998. But the Army have had the momentum since the start of the second half, and really since the 62nd minute goal by Chad Quick. Robinson keeps it alive. Gio Castro trying to stop him. Robinson left foot over the bar.
And Robinson's not happy there. He thinks he deserved the foul on that play.
And listen, I could ask you strategy here, final 10 minutes, 11 minutes, but really it's it's hard. Everyone's gassed. So a lot of the strategy, especially for the back line, is when in doubt, clear it out. Get it out of there, reset, right?
And one of the big strategies here, too, is taking advantage of these free kicks. That's when you get a pause in the game, make sure you have the players where they want it to be. And free kicks like this one, corner kicks, that's where the game is going to be won.
We've seen Robinson take most of these. It could be Christian King, though. He wants to take it instead. They're talking it over. About 10 minutes to go. 111th minute. The deepest goal we've seen was the 116th minute game winner in the opening match for the Air Force, defeating the Navy 2-1. Robinson, yet again, I mean, I'll tell you what, he's like 5 for 5 on field goals today, but he has not found the back of the net, which is the main target.
And that's where we found it interesting that Reese was subbed out there for Army, who was the one to take those free kicks from that distance, and he was the one that got it on Chad Quick's head for that goal.
Wisnat takes it there. Carslow keeps it alive. Aguila has played such a pivotal role. Blake may try one. Devontae Blake. That was off the field goal crossbar. The deepest game winner for the Marine Corps came in the 113th minute against the Air Force, Carlos Vasquez Perez. Carslow, some space here for Donald Williams. But Williams was trying to bend it to his teammate, Jake Tosta. Williams couldn't get it to him.
And I think that was the right decision there by Cam Broon to hold on to the ball, slow it down there a little bit for the Marine Corps.
Another slide tackle there by Wisnat. Marine Corps crowd loves the effort from number 18. Back heel and a beauty by Robinson. King left foot. Jonathan Campo Montenegro. Wardak off the head of Reyes. Marine Corps going the wrong way. Donald Williams almost goes down. King goes down. No call. Abdu and DA letting them play. We are halfway home of this second extra time frame. Abraham Casillas the other way. Little clip from behind, nothing called yet again. Flag stays down, nope, flag goes up, offside by Carlos Vasquez Perez. So Marcus Moss was on top of it there, said that Carlos Vasquez Perez had a step past the last defender. If you wanted more drama in this tournament, you've got it. 114th minute. Hearts are racing, bodies are hurting. Chance here for Tosta. Tosta with a save by Cambron. Tosta didn't quite have the angle. It was hard to see from our vantage point whether that would have gone into the back of the net, but nonetheless, Marc-Anthony Cambron, a hero yet again.
And here's another look at this last chance here by Army. He doesn't have a great angle, and he had two people in the box. I think he should have crossed it there.
It just feels like the Army has all the momentum in the world. I keep saying that. And if you're the Marine Corps, you got to slow it down, right? You got to slow this pace down and almost be content. They could score here, of course, but you almost have to kind of be content with PKs at this point. They just haven't had many opportunities the last 50 to 60 minutes.
I think that is going to it's going to be more value for the Marine Corps to go to PKs than it is Army. Like you said, they've controlled it here in overtime, but the Marine Corps needs to take advantage of these free kicks.
But who knows? 115th minute here. Could this be a potential game winner? Remember, no golden goal, so if anybody scores, the game continues. The match plays on. Great header there by Holden. And Blake, can Robinson get there? He's still got wheels. He can't quite keep it alive, but it was in a perfect placement to where the Marine Corps now have to throw it in from their own corner flag here on their defensive third.
And we see a few people down here for the Marine Corps. It looks like more people are cramping up. As you said, fatigue is setting in, as this is not the first overtime period for them.
Couple of players down. Man, I'm cramping just watching. It's unbelievable how much running these guys have had to do the last week. It's not just this match. They take 24 hours off and then have to play again. Third straight for the Marine Corps in double extra time. Great stop on the ball by Wardak, trying to find Reyes. Reyes didn't realize there were a couple of Army defenders there ready to greet him. Wisnat lets it go. And now this will officially be the latest goal scored, if a goal is scored, here in this second extra time half. The latest was the 116th minute goal by the Air Force. We are now in minute 117. Not a great ball there. Holden just couldn't do much with it. Deflection, two players collide. Caught by Cambron, and another stoppage. So that was Blake and Quay that collided. I think that was a good no call there.
And again, we see players go down cramping, this time for Army here in the center of the field. I think this is going to be a big factor here from both teams.
A sub is getting ready to check in for Army. And actually, it might be two subs, so two final subs. And I know I had said earlier that Army had subbed 4 times, but you're allowed an extra sub in extra time. So by doing that math, the Marine Corps should have 1 left. Army would have 2, and this should be the final 2 subs for Army getting ready to check in. I'm doing DAs, let them be physical all match long. Quick, who scored the equalizer in the 62nd minute. Players are down for the Marine Corps. Army going to try and take advantage of this. They're playing essentially, if you look at this, up a man right now. Gio Castro is still down, refusing to get up. And Louis Robinson plays it past the sideline, and I'll tell you what, that's talk about sportsmanship in a moment like that. He didn't have to play that. past the sideline there. I mean, he could have elected to play it. Abdou Ndiaye was going to let him play as Gio Castro was down.
And we saw Gio Castro down for a good amount of time there, so I think that was very appreciated by him to have him be sportsman-like and kick it out for him.
Adam Quay is now cramping up. He's down. These are military men, okay? They are in wonderful shape. As you see some subs checking in here. Maurice Moore is checking in. Devontae Blake is out, so that's another surprise. Maybe getting some guys here with fresh legs for the PKs. Maybe their best penalty kick takers is what we could be seeing here from Josh Green and the Army. So Maurice Moore, who we haven't really seen much in this tournament, he's into the match. Maurice Moore came in, and then Matthew Solis checked in. So those final two subs for Josh Green and the Army. Magical spray getting on the leg of Gio Castro. We'll see, is the Marine Corps going to give the ball back to the Army? They should here, I would assume. Carlos Vasquez Perez is going to give the ball back to the Army. So Jay May. With all the stoppages here now in this second extra time half, we'll see. Could see maybe 4 to 5 minutes added on. Over the head of Castro, Victor Flores. Castro can't keep it alive. So we have not seen PKs in this tournament. We don't know. Well, we saw John Ponce take a PK. We know he was pretty good at it. He scored on one of the only PKs we've seen, but he's already off, right? He got subbed off by Holden in the 83rd minute, and only 2 minutes being added here. What a surprise by that. Only 2 minutes being added to overtime. Quay keeps it alive. Can the Army strike on the road in dramatic fashion? Robinson was looking for more, couldn't find him. Cambrone picks it up.
And he's wasting time there. Like we said, I think going to PKs really favors the Marine Corps right now because Army is controlling this game.
Off the head of Carlos Vasquez Perez. The Army, they just got to be thinking, boy, we should have found the back of the net. Still time, but running out of room here. The Marine Corps thinking, wow, what a stand. We have found a way to maybe get this to PKs, and this is only going to waste more time here as Reyes bangs one off the back of Robinson. Could be the final 60 seconds here. Abdou Ndiaye doesn't want the Marines to continue to stall here. Carlos Vasquez Perez, good body there by Carslow. Reyes goes down, no call. Robinson. This would be one of the most dramatic game winners ever in Armed Forces history. Holden takes a tumble, no call. Oh, what a big no call there from Abdou Ndiaye. The referee said nothing doing, play on, and now calls the foul against the Army. It'll be a free kick for the Marines. And this could be the final free kick before penalty kicks.
Wow, that was a big no call there by the referee. And let's take another look at that.
Ooh.
That's a close one. It looks like he tugs his arm just a little bit, but like I said, it could go either way.
And that is it. 30 plus minutes after 90 plus minutes of regulation. Not enough to decide a winner between the Marines and the Army. Everyone gets the chance to regroup, gets to take a deep breath, and get ready for the first penalty kick shootout of the tournament and the last penalty kick shootout of the tournament. Mark Anthony Cambrone versus Jay May. Those are the two keepers tasked to try and stop the ball from going in to the back of the net. We will step aside here will explain the penalty kick rules. And we're going to crown a gold medal winner when we come back here at Camp Pendleton. Don't go anywhere. For all the marbles here at Camp Pendleton, Army and the Marine Corps each get one through 90, and then the 30 minutes of extra time, nobody scored. We are going to PKs for the first time in this tournament to crown a champion and crown a gold medal winner. What's at stake here real quick? The Marine Corps are trying to win their first in 25 years, since 1998. The Army are trying to win their 14th title, their first since 2019 after missing the gold medal match last year. All right, partner, PKs here. You get your top 5 penalty kick takers, and pretty much, and I know what you're going to talk about, we're going to set the scene, but pretty much the pressure is on the guys taking the kicks here and the attempts on each side. But going over it, so it's the first 5. If there is not a winner after the first 5, sudden death 1 for Army or Marines, depending on who's kicking first, and so forth until we crown a winner. Talk strategy here real quick for both the keepers and the kick takers.
I think for both teams, they're going to want to put their best kicker first. And you see Army here step out with their first penalty take kicker. You really want that momentum. You want to score that first goal to give the teams confidence. And for the goalkeepers, you're going to see them pick a side, dive to that side. They're going to do their best to try to read the hips there of the goalkeeper or of the kicker. And so it's anybody's game here.
Ivano Seguera will take the first here to try and set the tone for Army. Mark Anthony Cambrone to try and deny him. Cambrone cannot leave the line early. Seguera, it was stopped initially by Cambrone, but it gets banged into the back of the net. The first for Army is good. They lead it 1-0 here in PKs.
And Cambrone did a good job there of guessing correctly which side to go, but that was just a well-struck ball there by Army.
Carlos Vasquez Perez, who's been a hero a couple of different times in this tournament. Can he slip one past Jay May and equalize at 1? He does just that. Upper 90, a perfect strike from Carlos Vasquez Perez. And the Marine Corps crowd is going wild here for a moment.
And you see Jay May there trying to pump up his team. He said, that's okay, we still got it.
Chase Holden, who was subbed on at the 83rd minute for John Ponce. Holden versus Cambrone. A save by Marc-Anthony Cambrone. He guesses correctly, dove to the left.
It looks like they're calling that back here, Alex. He might have come off his line a little bit too early.
Wow, and so that's what I was just explaining earlier. Marc-Anthony Cambrone came off the line early. That is a massive call by the referees here. That's Jacob Little who is watching for that. Abdou Ndiaye, of course, watching the striker take the PK, and so now if you're Holden, do you go the same way? This is always the cat and mouse, or do you switch sides? Holden goes the opposite side and buries one into the back of the net. So Cambrone and this Marine Corps crowd thought they had an initial stop, but Jacob Little had other plans. He said that Cambrone jumped early. 2-1 Army. It's a long walk up to the ball if you're Ariel Reyes. Lieutenant Corporal, based Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. And it's a much bigger walk back if you don't put one past May. Reyes versus May to try and equalize it too. Reyes misses wide of everything. Ariel Reyes well off target. So May not forced to make a save. Army leads 2-1. And Reyes gets to feel that long walk back.
I think there was a big momentum shift there by the goalkeeper call, and that was a big miss there by the Marine Corps.
Joseph Carslow, first lieutenant, slips one by Cambrone. The Army can feel it a little bit here. They lead it 3-1.
The Marine Corps really needs to make this next shot here to give them that momentum going forward.
So 3-1 is the score here in PKs. Jonathan Campomontenegro, the corporal, who's stationed right here at Camp Pendleton. No kick bigger than this. Campomontenegro pings one off the post, back-to-back misses for the Marine Corps. Oh, agony here for a team who's trying to win for the first time since 1998. And if Louis Robinson, the SPC based at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, can bang one home, this would end it. They've put the pressure on Robinson all tournament long. Can he be the hero? Robinson wins it on the road for the Army. They have won the gold medal after missing out last year. Josh Green's Army team gets it done, and for the 14th time in Army history, they have won the gold.
And that was a great performance by Army. Like we talked about, I think they dominated the game there. It was unfortunate for them to have to go to PKs, but they got it done, and you can see how much this means to them and how excited they are.
Holden and Oseguera give kisses to the camera. Agony, heartbreak for Marc-Anthony Cambrone and the Marine Corps. They were oh so close. They made it to the gold medal match for the first time since '99. 24 years, 25 years now and counting since they've won a gold medal. The Army are now 1 gold medal behind the Department of Air Force for the most gold medals since the inception in 1981. Wow, what a moment, what a tournament. The Army go undefeated. A 1-1 draw, tie, if you will, after 90. Neither side could score in extra time, and it took penalty kicks for Army to defeat the Marine Corps. Man, what a finish. What a stellar tournament. Listen, if you've been following this since 1981, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this may have been the best Armed Forces Championship in 40-plus years. You can tell me I'm wrong, but it just feels like it. Every single match was decided by 1 goal. And in this match, it wasn't even a goal. It was decided by PKs. What more could you want in a tournament than this one right here? And if it's your first time tuning in, I'll tell you what, these men deserve all the credit in the world, not only for serving our country, but the way they fought on the pitch all tournament long. Marine Corps here at Camp Pendleton, all the fans who came out to support the Marines, they witnessed history. First win for the Marines since 2016. First gold medal match since 1999. And then for the Army, they get it done. It wasn't easy. Team that went 4-0, it just wasn't easy. To see them celebrate here. It was Robinson who found the back of the net. He set up a couple in this tournament. John Ponce, who scored 3 different times. Devontae Blake, who scored the game winner against the Department of Air Force to send the Army to the gold medal match. So many studs. And how about Chad Quick, who got the equalizer in the 62nd minute to keep their hopes and dreams alive. Donald Williams, Joseph Carslow were great on the back line. Victor Kosivi, Devontae Blake, Christian King, who came back after having to miss with 2 yellow cards last match. Maurice Moore off the bench. Jake Tosta, Adam Landry, Jesus Aparicio, Matthew Solis, Ivan Oseguera, Joseph Reese, Louis Robinson, Chase Holden, and Jay May. Those are the 18 that won it for the Army. Of course, head coach Josh Green and everything he did for the Army, as Captain Kristen Lynn, who had to sprint from the booth, is with Josh Green, as well as the rest of this Army team that just captured gold.
Thank you, Alex. I'm here with Army head coach Josh Green, who just won today's gold medal match. Coach, what does this gold medal win mean to your team?
Well, one, it means everything first, and it's not me who won it. They're the ones who won it. Those guys gave all their heart throughout, battled us home crowd, and gave everything they had to the end. Love them to death, and the battle is in there for next year as well.
Can you talk a little bit about your journey to get here and your motto of 11 as 1?
11 as 1 came from Coach Kolsch. All right, that is my predecessor. This whole thing started from base coaching, because you got to start at the beginning and you got to keep them together. You got to find the best talent out there, combine them, and know how to actually organize that talent on the field, off the field, and build that camaraderie that these gents have.
And that was a great game today. What would you say was a difference maker today?
Fitness. A run, Army, run. Look what I mean.
Anything you want to say to the fans watching back home about this Army team?
We appreciate all the love. We've had nothing but cheers, support on live media, on text, from everybody, and we love everything that they've given each and every one of these gentlemen through the hard fight and the hard battle this week.
Thank you, and that's here from Coach Green.
Hey, guys, boys, careful.
Yeah! Let's go!
What a moment there for the Army. You can see the water bath, the Gatorade bath there for Josh Green. He gets hoisted up in the air. That is Major Josh Green, who is stationed in Wiesbaden, Germany, originally from Columbia, Missouri. His assistant coach, Raul Amendaris, Chief Raul as they call him, who's stationed at JBLM in Washington, and then Victor Sanchez, the other assistant coach, Staff Sergeant Victor Sanchez, who is stationed at Harker Heights in Texas. Sarah Gallen, who did a great job as the service rep, who got us a lot of great information. But the Army are winners for the 14th time in tournament history. They win it in penalty kicks over the Marine Corps. For Captain Kristen Lynn, Alex Gould, and our entire second audio-visual squadron crew here at Camp Pendleton, we say so long for the final time in Oceanside. The Army are winners in 2023. We will see you next year. Goodbye, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the closing award ceremony for the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship. We will now begin the awards presentation. Presenting today's awards will be the Sergeant Major of Marine Corps Base Installations West and Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, Sergeant Major Fausto Cabrera. The second place team for the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship is the United States Marine Corps, coached by Master Sergeant Rocky Ferdine and Lieutenant Colonel David Becker.
All right. Boys, what can I say? I'm proud of you guys, all right? 21 years since a Marine has held something. Keep your heads up high, all right? Carlos Vasquez, come on. Honest Abe. Rock. Oh, right on me. Nope, there it is. What's up, kid? Q! Mark Cambro.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship, Army. The United States Army is coached by Major Joshua Green and Chief Warrant Officer 3, Raul Mendez.
Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. First thing, I want to thank our 25 fans that showed up. We appreciate everything you've done for us. Shout out to all the wives, moms, dad, everybody. First up, John Ponce.
Young man.
Luke Barbe. Come on up, Don. Let's see you, Blake. Tosta. Solis. Osagata.
That's my spot. That's CDM, brother.
Reese.
The treble, baby.
Holden. Jesus. Carslow.
You brought it home, baby. You brought it home.
Laundry.
I know, right?
May. Kosivi.
Come on.
Moore. Quick.
Red himself.
Louis. Our captain, King. Our OIC, Victor. We also have to give a special thanks to the trainer. We've had multiple trainers, but this one dealt with us the most. Come on up. At least, hey, bring it in. Give her a thank you. Every one of them owe you. Trust me. Thank you. You better give her a hug and shake her hand. The Marines, Miss A. Rocky.
Rocky. That was the best fucking battle. But you guys.
Hey, that was a hell of a game, gentlemen. You stressed us all out. Good battle.
All right.
Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to congratulate the following players on being selected for the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer All-Tournament Team. From the United States Marine Corps, Brock Barbeau. From the United States Marine Corps, Randall McDermott. From the United States Marine Corps, Carlos Vasquez. From the Department of the Air Force, Max Soul. Also from the Department of the Air Force, James Sims. From the United States Navy, Julio Noel. Also from the United States Navy, Omar Chandum. From the United States Army, Chad Quick. From the United States Army, John Ponce. From the United States Army, Lewis Robinson. And last but not least, from the United States Army, Ivan Oseguera. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer All-Tournament Team. Now, presenting the Installation Appreciation Award is Mr. Steve Denote, the United States Armed Forces Sports Secretariat.
Yeah, thanks you.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out. I just wanted to say we don't do these amazing tournaments without the support of the base. So Sergeant Major, on behalf of DOD, we really appreciate Camp Pendleton stepping up to host this. Thank you for the entire Semper Fit staff here, MCCS, for doing a fantastic job. The whole staff here is first class, and we can't do these things without your support, so we thank you. Also, I want to introduce Mr. Jim Morehouse from U.S. Soccer Federation. So just to let everybody know, this level tournament is considered a national level championship, and that's why we have Mr. Rick Eddy and the entire referee crew. Mr. Craig Lowry, our head referee. Mr. Rick Eddy is the director for referee development for U.S. Soccer Federation. So this is the value of this championship. Every referee is certified at the national level, and thank you guys for calling an amazing game. And then we have Mr. Jim Morehouse from the U.S. Soccer Federation representing. Earlier we had a couple other gentlemen that were here also from the Federation. So this receives great support and attention from U.S. Soccer Federation. So without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Jim. And also we'd like to present a banner for Marine Corps Sports for being our gracious host too. So just one final word, just to let everybody know, every match was recorded and live streamed, and that was brought to you on behalf of the 2nd Audiovisual Squadron out of Hill Air Force Base. An amazing job. They came out and supported the CISM Women's Championship, and we're able to receive the Hap Arnold Award for production. So we were very happy and thrilled that they were able to come out and support this championship. So we had a professional broadcast crew do this. We had color commentary from Captain Kristen Lynn of the 2nd Audiovisual Squadron, but we also had Mr. Alex Goad, who also calls for the SEC, Austin Peay University, Vanderbilt. So he was able to be in there calling play-by-play. So when you get a chance, please thank the crew for doing an amazing job putting this on. Everything can be visited again on YouTube and Facebook, so take time to go back and watch some more matches. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to introduce the Sergeant Major of Marine Corps Installations West and Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, Sergeant Major Fausto Cabrera.
Right. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations West, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, Brigadier General Woodworth, to all the team members, coaches, trainers, Semper Fit, commentators, MCCS, and the fans, thank you for all the hard work and support all week. To all the team members, congratulations on being selected to come and play in the championship game. All of your performance was outstanding that week. To the Army and the Marine Corps, congratulations on making the championship game. The game was impressive and phenomenal. Congratulations. Obviously, congratulations to the Army on your win and outstanding performance to you. Kill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the awards ceremony for the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.